you so much for joining us. Okay, now we can go live.
We
are live now.
We are live. Let's do this, ladies.
Yo, Gray, is there a chord for this?
Is it dying?
Yeah. Okay,
oh, great.
so
Now
sorry if I came in interrupting. I just took my earbuds out. But
I'm trying to, because I thought I had my laptop all set up for this, not my cell phone. So now I'm readjusting this thing that I have.
It is so great to hear your voice in person, like, because we've been talking for, like, it seems like for so long, because, you know, the season is almost over, and we've been talking since the start of it, and we've had all these 2-week breaks, so it's super long. Feels like forever ago.
Can I tell you, these breaks are killing me?
Like,
I'm right there with you guys. I'm like, why? What's the point? I don't understand. I'm trying to adjust this thing.
I also kind of enjoy it because it gives me more time to do stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Because it takes me I think my fatal flaw is it takes me like either a million years to do something or 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. Like there's no in between.
Oh. No, I just
wish it was like one hiatus, though. If it was one hiatus, actually, that we were dealing with, we'd only have to deal with the pain of it once. If it was longer.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's funny, but it's very, very true. That's actually very true and very accurate. Okay, this is a very weird angle for me. There you go. I'm gonna. I was about to say, freaking Mercury went out of retrograde weeks ago. What the hell?
Honestly, we were saying right before you got here, we were joking. You're just kind of cursed. We love you, but live broadcast does not work for you. Between the two issues on cult fans, and then this today, we love you, but you need to do a fire dance to somebody or something. Like, I don't know.
Somebody mentioned that to me because I'm just, stressing out for no reason. And they're like, you need to go do some yoga. I said, I don't need to do yoga. I need to go to the desert and light up some shit. That's what I need to do.
Yes.
So I can't wait until
I'm
able to do that. Oh, you have no idea. I'm going to Salton Sea. I don't know if you guys know of Salton Sea. Have you heard of Salton Sea? Okay, there's a movie by Val Kilmer called The Salton Sea. It's actually the highest meth population in the nation because of what the living conditions are out there, and so it's a really, really, it's very raw, it's heartbreaking, that movie, but also that's what Salton Sea really is like. And I love Salton Sea because with all the death around it and how it happened, and now they're draining the basin, which pisses me off. They turned off the flowing water, the fresh water. So the Salton Sea is now shrinking. And so what made it so special and beautiful, it's slowly shrinking and going away. So I have to go back and visit before the water dries up, because it's horrible what's happening down there. But it's a beautiful place, and they don't bother me with permits there. I can't really light anything on fire out there. So when I go out there, I can actually light up my poi and do my dancing right in front of the water, and nobody gives a shit. They're like, yeah, that looks cool. Can we join? All right, just don't touch my stuff and you'll be fine. And the people are really nice, a little bit odd, but they're nice. But yeah, I love that place for photos. There's dead fish and birds and bones everywhere. You should Google it. Google the Salton Sea now and see the amazing photos. And there's a Salton Sea Instagram. People think I'm weird, but it's one of my favorite places on earth, because there's so much death and there's so much life, and then the history of it is really so crazy and gnarly. And then Salvation Mountain is right next to it. Anyways, the point of that story was that's where I like to go fire dancing. So as soon as I can, I'm definitely headed that way to light up some shit, because I need to burn some bad juju or whatever is going on.
The energy.
So, oh yeah. Yeah, that funk has to go.
Hi, I feel like guys. Everyone's been in a funk this year. But the Outpost has been like the shining light of my year, so I'm really hoping it gets renewed.
Oh, me too. You know, I love it because everybody's always asking me if I know. I'm like, dude, I'm waiting with you guys. It's like Doug and all those guys are, you know, I think they're talking about it now. I don't even know you guys. I don't know what's going on. But they are definitely talking about it, and we should know, hopefully, before the episode 10 airs or by episode 10, if we get a season 2. So I hope that's the case because, you know, it's like what I tell people, it's like, you know, I already did my actress job. You know, I'm done. You know, I went on set, I did my thing. Now I'm home and I'm watching it with you guys. And I have my brother, who's a huge fantasy fan in New York. You know, with my niece, you know, my nephew he's only 4, but he sits there, hangs out with his daddy. But my niece and my brother, they watch it every week, you know, and they're like, you know, it's like, do you know yet? I'm like, no. But everybody is enjoying it, and everybody says the same thing. Man, every episode it just gets better and better. And I'm like, I know. Imagine we could do once, not we, you know, but what the show could do and where it could go with the second season, the stories, the characters, and you know, and that's the thing. I think, you know, I was telling somebody, I'm like, you know, people love Essa, and I've gotten good things about Essa. I said, but you don't know with a series. You don't know if somehow, some way, some characters are magically going to disappear on season 2. You know, and I'm like, I'm going to have to do a rain dance or something to make sure Essa comes back. But the show is a great show. It's an original show. It's an original story. And I think that's what makes it so special. It's that it's not something they can go pick up a book about. It's not something, you know, maybe now they'll do books and things to go along with, you know, with the show and stuff. But it's just such a, you know, unique way to look at, you know, Talon's life and how she got to where she is and how she befriended everybody. And you have your enemies along the way. I don't know. I just think that as a whole, visually and with the storylines and the heart behind it and the comedy between everybody, I think, you know, it would be a shame to not move forward with all these amazing characters and see what they're going to do.
The comedy for sure. Yeah, like the comedy is the unexpected part of it. Like I have been following this since Dean bought it. Like since Dean was like, since he was like legally involved, I got like I knew about that because I'm such an obsessive Dean fan. So it was like in the summer before. I knew like the summer before you guys even filmed that this was happening, and I was like, I'll be there.
No way. See, I didn't even know that. That's amazing.
I knew before you knew. And you're in it.
You did.
But like,
I didn't even audition until last October is when I auditioned for this. So that's when I found out. I'm like, oh, what is this? And like, oh, fantasy. Okay.
I saw a lot of the audition stuff for like Janzo, especially people putting their tapes on YouTube, not like publicly. Really? A lot of it isn't like, but like if you know how to look with keywords like I do, and you have no life, you can find people's audition tapes for new stuff that's happening right now. Usually,
that people post themselves, or the casting directors?
Their casting people post them usually. Like their agencies post them and stuff. Like, so I like follow agencies to see actors that aren't going to be in stuff, just because I think it's interesting.
What? Wait a minute. I need to. Can you stalk my name and see what comes up, because I'm a little scared.
I'll tell you if anything comes up. Like oh my gosh, yeah, we know. Like I'm pretty sure like one of the Librarians actors, as fans, we knew when someone put him on like a celebrity feet website, like for people who were into feet, and we were like, "What just happened? Did you see this?
Please don't do that." Okay, I'm gonna make.
We're not gonna put you on a feet website. Don't worry.
Listen, I have Barney Rubble feet. Okay, my feet are past 9 years old, so I have the square. You know how when you're kids, you have this little square feet with tiny toes. I never grew past that, so please don't put my feet on. Please don't do that.
It's a beauty standard in China. Why do I know that? This is weird. I feel like people are gonna think I'm into feet now.
That's a little weird, Shira. That's a little weird.
Like I feel like this went on a tangent. We should talk about the episode because because
there's like so much.
Okay, can I just say something that's like the first thing that stuck out and like something made me sit up and pause the episode when I was watching it. I like jolted up and paused it because I needed to sit there and think. Okay,
Altars are?
when they came down over the wall and they were at the bottom, they look up and she's like, "Wow, this is actually pretty big. Who built this? How did they build it?" And Shanzo was like, "Oh, men didn't build that. It was here before men arrived." I sat up and I stopped it and I was like, "What did you just say? Excuse me?"
Yeah, same.
Those gray skins are not as stupid as people think. Those gray skins are not dumb.
It has now occurred to me. At first, obviously, I thought, oh, this must be, because as I said, I knew about it right when Dean was legally involved with it, and that the only thing that anyone would release about it at the time was that it was called the Outpost and that it was set in the far future. That was the first detail.
The far future.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's set in the far future. That's like the official description.
That's no to me.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's a time of the medieval and the kings and the queens and the knights and the witches and the things.
It is.
I didn't get the memo.
It is, but at the same time, it also isn't. Like the same way that all the people here are calling the Lakiri demons, even though they don't exactly seem like our traditional, version of demon. They seem a little more sci-fi. They seem a little bit more like aliens. Yeah. But they call them demons because that's what they are to them. So
like
when they
apocalyptic, recovered to medieval-ish.
Hey, I talking. Turn on your camera. I don't want to see a green dot with little head.
A pale blue dot.
I'm a hot mess right now.
Aren't we all? I'm missing a tooth, and I'm still live streaming. Okay.
I have no makeup, and my forehead is shiny.
Okay, woman. You
look gorgeous all the time.
If that's your I woke up like this, I hate you.
Okay,
I mean, I love you, but I hate you.
We have a real life Beyonce over here.
Well, so I'm not going to tell you that I woke up this way because usually when I sleep, I put my hair up like this.
Oh, I love the ponytail. I love it.
And then in the morning, I do this. And I'm like, this is better. Hi. Oh, see? No problem.
That was so funny.
I cannot look as good as you look with like 10 pounds of makeup and a hair job.
Stop.
When you're just like, I don't even have makeup on. I'm a woman.
You know
that
what,
evil laugh.
You know what though? I gotta tell you. I did an interview yesterday, and I laughed my ass off because I don't like makeup. People don't notice about me, but just because this is what I do for a living doesn't mean that I actually like doing the glamour thing. I do it because I have to. And yesterday, I didn't feel like hiring somebody to do my hair and makeup and to do my outfit. Nothing. I did all that by myself. But I was like, damn, this is a lot of makeup. I'm literally, I don't like makeup. I just do like mascara and whatever and a blush. But yesterday I had to do like, and cake it on and stuff. And when I saw my Instagram, I'm like, holy shit, it's like a baby's ass. Because it was just like so even. And I'm like, that is such a lie. So I'm like, you know what?
It's like, no, that's not how life is.
I'm like, I'm a 5, a 6, a 4. I'm naturally contoured. It's not one color. It's like, it's such a lie. People don't fall for it. So anyways, I decided
I'm naturally contoured. How many people would complain about that? I'm naturally...
Listen, it's not a good thing. I know it sounds like it, but it's not a good thing. I know you laugh, but listen. Do you know what it's like when you meet people in the industry who just started doing makeup and don't know how to blend? I come out looking like a ghost because they try to blend me with just one color. And I look pasty ass white. So now I carry my makeup with me all the time. All the sets. Ashy as hell. And they're like, oh, you look great. And I'm like, and I go outside and I look and this happened to me on 2 to 3 sets, I think. So now I carry my makeup and I go to my trailer or the bathroom and I'm like, I leave the eyes alone. But I'm like, let's just redo all this so I can look normal. So it's not a good thing. Man, it's not a good thing. It's like, I know, problems, whatever. But they are. Back to the episode. Let's go. But it's good to see you.
Oh, yeah. What was this? Oh, yes. The men, okay, so I thought...
The gray skin in the wall, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that it was, on Earth, but it was like something had happened, and we were talking about like the apocalypse because it seemed, you know, like the plaguelings are like zombies, and then you have the grayskins, and that's a war, and you know, and we were talking about how they're at some level of development, you know, independent, but like it's occurred to me that, you know, they were talking about like men arrived. This might not be Earth, because we were also talking in this group about how the moon does not look at all like our moon.
Love that moon. Love it.
Yeah, I love it, but if you look closely, it doesn't look like either side of the moon, feature-wise.
No.
And not just because it has lava on it.
So are we in another planet completely, or is it...
That's my new theory, yeah.
Okay, because that would make sense to me, because I'm like, I guess it would make sense if the world had ended and we had to start from scratch.
Yeah, that was the original. That's like the more common thing that's been like a really like that genre. It's been forming itself into a genre, and now it's becoming like a set thing that people are like, oh, that's a show, that's a post dystopia, because there's the apocalypse and then there's everything that comes after the apocalypse. So now you have Shannara Chronicles, you have Into the Badlands, and those are all where like medieval feudal systems come after the apocalypse, and so does magic, because of something
it sent them back to be so dumb, including with medicine. That's where I have a hard time, because you think that if it's in the future, they would, even if they had to go back to zero where there's no machines and we have to go back to the knights and things. But what about like Janzo, as smart as he is, there's no medicine, it goes back to nature. So that's why it's so amazing, but it's so annoying. I'm like, you're supposed to be, I don't know.
But that's the thing. Like, think about the burning of Alexandria in the Dark Ages and stuff, and the fall of Rome. You know, and we lose information constantly, and then we rediscover it. Like, we knew about electricity in Saudi Arabia before we ever discovered it because of Thomas Edison. We just forgot that we knew. And then we had to remember again.
Okay, I need to sit down one of these days and have a powwow, because you know way too much about too many interesting things.
I could go on about
that is very, very cool, and you're making me feel very dumb. So I'm just gonna rely on the fact that I speak 3 languages to make myself feel smart.
Oh wow! Like, I can't even speak one language well. So you got me on that.
You're a freaking Britannica encyclopedia, so sometimes knowledge is better than, you know, like I can sign shit and you'll know what I'm talking about, but I don't know any of that. So kudos to you. I love that. I love smart people. You guys, I love my geeks. You guys are my favorite kind of people, because I can sit there for hours and we can just pretty much figure out how to take over the world and nobody would know.
That's my plan. I'm glad we're on board. I'm glad everyone has the memo.
Okay, so let me ask you guys. I'm skipping like totally to the end. Calcazar, like, was that really necessary? Is that really?
Oh my gosh!
I
loved it.
No, for 5 minutes.
I loved it. I loved it.
No.
It was completely unexpected. It was completely. It was
so sad.
Okay, it's because you know, Doug loves to spoil us. He loves it. It's his favorite pastime.
Isn't Doug great? I love that guy.
I love him. I'm so glad.
He's my favorite. He's like, I told him, I said, you're such a little devil, you know, because it's like you meet him in person, and if you guys ever meet him in person, have an interview with him, he's the coolest and really sweet. And I keep on telling him, and I don't know if he thinks I'm full of shit, but I keep on telling him, I said, you know, you are an actor's producer, because in Hollywood, you have a lot of producers who couldn't give a rat's ass about the actors. We're just actors. You're there to do your job and do your job. And I haven't met a lot of producers who actually love actors. And Doug is a producer that loves actors, and he's just really, really kind. But he's an imp. He's like a little devil, that one. And I love it because it's out of innocence and fun. There's no malice behind it. So it's like you want to get angry at him, but you can't, because he's just so sweet. It's crazy. But yeah, if you guys ever meet Doug, he's the coolest. He's really. And
I want to meet him.
Yeah, and
he's
in that
like
world.
my list of people.
And he's in that world, by the way. Like, he genuinely loves the genre. And that's what I love about this show. And I don't know if people understand that the people involved, the writers, the creators, everyone involved, they really live in this universe. They really love it. It's like, that's why I gush. Even in my interview yesterday, I said, you don't know, I don't know how I can make you understand. It's a world on its own. And it's like, it's the people that I love, because you have people who just know how to adult, and then you have a group of people who keep that childlike heart and have that imagination and have that wonderment. So here I am on this show that I'm with these people who love to put out beautiful, amazing stories and content of knights in shining armor, of magicians, of all these things. And I got surrounded by it. That's why, some people think I'm kidding, but I'm really in awe of everyone and everything, of the sets, of the story, of the locations, everything, and so you guys, as the audience and the fans, do know, and I hope you realize that these people making these stories for you are just as in love with this genre as you are. It's not just let's make stuff for this people because it's going to make money. A lot of time it doesn't. But you have something that you can sit down and watch with families and will last a lifetime. And the people like Doug and Dean, Jason Fowler, Kynan, Jennifer Griffin, all of them are so in love with the fantasy world and they enjoy it. And sometimes I don't think that you guys hear that enough or understand, especially with this group of people and creators and artists. They're all artists. They're just so in love with this genre. And that's what this is so sweet for me, because I'm always the weird one. It's like I tell people, I have my fairy wings in the closet. I might wear it this Halloween again, but I can only wear it on Halloween because if I walk outside with my fairy wings, they'll be put me in a white jacket in 2 seconds. But you know what I mean? So it's like, if I was to show up on set with my horns and everything, everybody would be like, hey, who are you today? And I'm like, oh, honey, I'm just me today. And they'll be okay with that. So it was just, that's why I'm so in love with this, because everyone, and then the more I spend time with them, like with Jake, I haven't spent time with Jake, but the more I get to know him, with social media and the few times that we've met each other, I met him on set a few times because we were doing scenes in the same area, not together in season 1. It's like they love this genre, and that's so cool. And yeah, and Doug is right up there with him. He's just, he loves this stuff, and he's like, and I sit back and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not weird. I have a community. And it's like, and I feel so behind. I'm like, I have to pick up on the Dungeons and Dragon board games and all that stuff, and I have to get my console back, and I need to start playing because I
will introduce you to the land of D20. Come and join me.
Yes.
I have so many games and stories to tell you.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
Man, we'll introduce him to Axio.
Isn't D20 an online D&D thing? Because I think I played a game on there once.
There's a lot of.
at least I did to made these two break up, and then our group broke up. I didn't mean to.
You can do. There's entire platforms you can play. There's a Roll20 site where you can pick which game you want to play. They have all of the editions of D&D and Pathfinder and all.
My girlfriend's dad loves Pathfinder. They have just this whole bookshelf of Pathfinder stuff.
Someone wants to say hi. She's wondering why I'm talking to
hi.
my phone.
Oh my gosh, that's such a cute baby.
Me too, baby. She's looking at me, but I'm trying to get her to look at. Baby, look. Hello. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, mama. She's like, just put the phone down, take me outside, whatever.
Man's best friend.
But she's the reason why my phone dropped, because she hopped on the bed. Hi, mama.
No, I am 100% serious. I will reboot any of my old homebrew games and teach you the ropes.
I would
and
love
you
that.
you and drag Jake in, and we will just do a whole Outpost.
Yes.
Oh my God, Becky.
I will help you. I know a little bit about helping world build for campaigns, and I think we could totally do an Outpost one. But I would need some help when it comes to how to play, because that's stuff I'm rusty on. I know more about how to play Magic than I know how to play D&D.
No, what we do is we make a really simple homebrew system that's new for everybody, and then make Jake, because he's supposed to be an expert at this, figure out how to build and throw everybody in something new. So he doesn't get the benefit either. He's not going to be way out here while Sonalii's trying to figure it out.
Everybody's going to be figuring this stuff out.
All I'm saying is I want horns. I need horns.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
We need to break out the old legacy homebrew.
Oh my gosh. By the way, I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but please.
Okay.
We will show you.
D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. I got that
After
much.
they-
Outside of that, I have no idea.
Let's not take up the whole podcast with it, but I will totally message you after today, and we will
Okay.
set this up.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That's fun. That's fun news. We'll put a pin in that for a minute.
All right,
But-
back to business.
But
So,
I
about the episode of yesterday. What the Kakazar?
okay.
What the hell?
I was
So sad.
upset, but I
Yeah.
loved it because Doug was why I brought up Doug was because he said somebody will die.
Yeah.
Like the day before, I think, or
Well,
like
I
a few
thought he was talking about the gray skin that I killed.
because you're like, oh, I see, but I knew he was talking about someone we care about. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said that unless he was being truly evil, right? But I thought I was like, they're not gonna kill Garrett, right? But I was becoming like more and more like,
no.
I was like, they're not gonna kill Garrett. They're not gonna kill Jake. But I was getting really worried about it because I saw them, pictures of them taking him outside the outpost in chains. Like, oh, are they gonna take him behind the shop and shoot him like a dog? Oh, jeez. And I literally had someone threaten to do that to me one time because I wasn't running as fast as them in PE or something. So I like flashed back to that moment, and I was like, no, don't do this to him. He doesn't deserve it.
Do you guys want to know the funny? I don't know how many people are going to watch this podcast, but I don't think they'll even care. Do you want to hear the running joke?
What?
Min knows about this. So you know when I creep up on that gray skin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my foot was broken. That's the scene when my foot was broken. Yeah, that's the scene that I actually I filmed that day, and I was supposed to jump on him. And on one of my jumps, I broke my foot. So I went to the emergency room, got checked out, convinced my doc to just give me a shot and let me go back on set. And they figured out how to get that shot without me putting my foot down. So that's why I'm crawling. And so it's funny because I was like, wow, that actually is good. I'm like, it's not as good as a jump though. But I'm like, all right, fine. I'll take it.
I gotta say, with Essa, you present her so feral, and
thank you.
it's just it's real. She's really incredible to watch.
Thank you.
And one of the things I was actually mentioning to Min earlier today is that like she's so animalistic and feral in her nature that you tend to forget she's human. And again, like you were able to do that without any kind of dialogue, and that was awesome. Like kudos to you for being able to give that kind of an impact without dialogue. That's just like that's become like my new favorite thing about the Outpost is like all of the powerful characters that don't have to say anything to get their point across.
I just said that to her. Like, you're echoing exactly what I said to her in the DMs on Instagram. Because I was talking about how, like, Essa barely has any lines, but she's so impactful. But in the same episode, we finally got Danos' backstory, and he's becoming way bigger of a character than I ever really hoped.
Mm-hmm.
I ever dared to hope, because I was like, he seems like he's probably just going to be, the favorite background character.
Isn't he great?
Yeah, he's so great. Like, his face is so emotive.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. He does not need words. And that scene with him and Gwen, like I realized, I think the mistress is the one who has the Withers letters, by the way. I don't think Dano has the letters. I think the mistress has the letters. Because it's pretty obvious that as close as Withers and Dano were, Dano was never cut out for the subterfuge.
Yeah.
But that's why
he's a good boy.
Yeah, he's too good of a person. That's why he's, part of. And so he was never. That's why he buried the girl in the garden, because he was never cut out for this exact line of work.
Girl flower on her forehead.
That was the funniest moment. It was like, you buried her here? Are you dumb? And Dana was like, look, I had to bury a woman.
Like, I panicked.
He's like, I've been through a lot. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I didn't think through this decision, and I regret it.
So funny. No, and I love that. And and speaking of people who don't talk a lot, Alien.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Isn't she amazing?
I kept waiting for her to say something. I'm waiting for her.
She won't. You're gonna hear her. I think, does she speak in episode 10? I don't remember. Oh, she does. She speaks in episode 10, and that's when all the shit's gonna hit the fan. Because, you know, in each season, not in a lot of shows, so that's good. But in a lot of different seasons, can somebody send Lisa a link on Twitter? I can't. I'm using my phone, so I can't. On one of the followers, and you guys chat with her all the time on Twitter. Lisa Rodolph, I think. She needs a link. She can't see. She's trying to. I just got a message. She's asking for a link. Can you send her one, Min?
Let me see.
Sure. Or Kira can. One or the other. I have to launch a window. I'm lagging. I am the lag.
No. So Alien, you know what's? Oh my God, this show is just freaks of nature. These writers are amazing. I'm telling you, it's like I'm in awe of everybody. I know I'm an actor, you guys. I know I'm an actor, but I think I'm just much more of a fan than I am an actor. I really am. It's really funny. But with Alien, talking about strong presence, you know, and she's a child, you know, she's a little girl. And for her to be able to be so still, and for her to express herself and to show her disdain for Dredd, and her heart also, you can tell her empathy for what's going on. And people think she's a creepy kid. I said, you don't understand. Everyone around Dredd is a victim. And he collects things. Dredd is a smart man. He collects things that will give him an edge. And he's collecting, obviously, she has powers, which you guys will get to find out, I think, next episode or the final episode, which is why he has her. You guys are going to be surprised. It's a shock. I love it. You guys are going to hate episode 10 when it ends. You're going to be like, no!
I can already tell.
Oh, it
because
leaves open for season 2.
As a writer,
season 2. Oh my God.
As a writer, literally we got about I'd say halfway through. We got about to episode 5, and I was doing my writer calculus in my head, and I was like, "Oh, we're not gonna wrap this up.
Nope.
This isn't gonna."
I
was like,
"Oh,
okay.
Lisa." Oh, Lisa made it, and she's like, "Hi!" So and just celebrating how great the child actor is. And Shay, can you mute for a second?
Yeah,
sorry. I was hard echoing. But one thing I wanted to say, we had pointed out while you were on the other thing about the female power of storytelling going on, especially with Essa, but also Talon and everything else. And one thing that I don't know if anyone's really brushed on, this is going to sound like extreme feminist right here or something, but has anyone else caught on that Dredd almost kind of represents the patriarchy? Because
when he came in,
seriously, when he came in and found that dude like manhandling that woman, first he was like, okay, well, she's going to be put to death. Not you were putting her to death. Well, that's the quartermaster's wife. Oh, then I'm doing him a favor. You die too. That is literally the whole, she's a piece of property, she goes away, well, she's somebody else's property. Oh, you're abusing someone else's property? Well, you die too then. And I was like, oh, that was coy right there.
It's very religious if you think about it without saying it, because, you know, with so many taboos nowadays, you can't say this, you can't say that, blah, blah, blah. It's for me, it just reminds you of the Catholic days of when you had Joan of Arc and everybody, you're either Catholic or you're not, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like that's who, don't you love my expressions? I just feel that's who, you know, those soldiers are. That's the Covenant, you know. I feel that that's who they represent. It's almost like they represent the church back in the days. You're with me or you die. And it was totally women behind and men are the rulers. And it's the fucking cowards, you know, because even biblically in the Old Testament, the women are the jewels in the, you know, in the crown. So what does that say? How highly God, but all of a sudden in the New Testament, we're not even worthy to be under men's shoe. It's like, what the fuck is that? So sorry, don't mean to go to religion, but yes, Dredd.
Which also says a lot about Essa too. Because Dredd was terrified of her. Like, you could literally just see, like, the big, like, oh, what have I just gotten myself into?
Yeah. No, well, you know what? Oh man, you guys, I have no idea what's gonna happen if we do get a season 2. I don't know, because you start with one thing and you don't know where stories lead, and now there's the thing that we find out that Janzo has a twin sister that was sold. Do you not know? The first thing that came into my mind was, please let it be me. Please let it be me.
Yeah.
Please let it be me. Because
I heard people. I have a feeling it's going to be Medallion, but
that's what I was
like,
thinking. That's what I was thinking, because I think Medallion.
They made a big deal of her. They talk like nobody talks about the new handmaid like that. Nobody makes a big deal about the actress playing the new handmaid if she's not going to be an important character. And not that I don't love her as an actress, but I'm like, we wouldn't have gotten the big. Guess who is? She's doing like they made a big deal about it, so it's like she's a big deal.
I'm sure that's exactly who it's going to be.
And they had that moment when Janzo went to go get Gwyn, and okay, first of all, that when they sent Janzo to go get Gwyn, I was so excited because one of the things I want more than anything was more Janzo and Gwyn interactions, and we finally got them this episode, and they were so good because that's like the least fleshed out part of my like OT4, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think they have a lot of potential. Just like I think, like I also liked like basically Janzo like acts like he doesn't like anybody except Talon right now, right? But that's not exactly true because
he tolerates.
Yeah, he tolerates everybody except for Talon.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's cute, but it's also interesting to watch him warm up to Garrett. Like when he gave Garrett the blankets and he was like, we better let Pretty Boy have a good night. And I'm like, you didn't have to call him Pretty Boy while you were saying that. That's kind of gay. Yeah. Like that was seriously, I was like and then, oh my gosh. But speaking of family, like friendly, like the whole like spooning scene, I love that Janzo's a little spoon. I was like, this is, and then Garrett's just like mad and pulls the blankets over him. Like, I just loved it. I loved everything about like I
was on the floor. The sense of comedy that these writers have. I mean, it's like I want to ask sometimes who wrote what part. Like, what did Jason write? What did Kynan write? Because I just want to sit down and just not even talk. I just want to sit back and just watch them talk. Because I have a feeling that you'll be able to figure out who did what, or who. I don't know. It's like I would love to say that Kynan is more. I think Kynan is more outgoing, and I think you would think that it was Kynan, but I think it's Jason. It's the quiet ones.
Oh yeah, I'm
the quiet ones, man.
He doesn't say it as much. He's thinking it.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I like. The comedy like in this show is the unexpected part because all the genre mashing of like revenge, western, sci-fi, fantasy, all that was mashing, and we expect that, but we don't expect as much like the freshness of the comedy, like that. Like one of my favorite ways just like examples of it, the way that like it had a beat to it was when Garrett woke Talon up to save her and get her out of Janzo's basement, and and he was like, the mistress told them that you were down here, and then she like snapped up in bed and she was like, she did see me. that was just so funny to deliver that line, and the way that it was like they didn't leave Chekhov's. They did not leave Chekhov's gun on the wall. They used it. You know what I mean? Like they called back to something they used earlier. Like the earlier moment was cute, and making fun of the mistress's eyesight was cute, but it was funnier to play against that and have it come back. Absolutely. And that's what I like. And like another example from this episode was when they had that really tense scene on the wall with Withers and Syl, and then she turned and she's like, that was my favorite knife.
That was funny. I was like, the knife, man, the knife. You don't mention somebody's knife.
I was when they got to the bottom of the wall the next day, like when I was waiting for someone to be like, where did this knife come from? to stoop down and pick it up and be like, this is my knife.
Sonalii.
Yes, love.
I've got to know, what was your favorite scene on this episode? Like watching it from an outsider fan perspective now in completion, what was your favorite part of episode 8?
Oh, you're making it hard. You know, I'm going to be very honest with you, and it's going to sound weird. I loved the part with Calcazar, and this is why. because for the entire episodes, you know, besides the Smith, there wasn't anything heart-wrenching. We needed, yes, in the pilot, you had her family and her village getting killed, right? Then you had, you know, the bad guys getting killed. That was not a big deal. Then the wolf died, and you're like, yeah, well, he killed her family. So in a way, it's poetic justice, and at least he put her on the path. But I'm happy because Kalkazar getting killed, you show the connection between him and Gwen, how much he really mattered to her. When the other guys find out, it's like killing Kalkazar. You guys just think about it for a moment. That's gonna catapult, and that's the catalyst for the shit that's about to happen on episode 9 and 10. And that was the most hard out of everything that has happened. For some odd reason, that part hit me like a ton of bricks, emotionally wise, compared to everything that has happened. Yes.
Yeah.
How evil Dread is, and how Kalkazar was sacrificed himself. Because I think in a way he knew because he went to get Gwen and told her to get out. He knew what was going to happen. So it's that self-sacrifice to show how, you know, much he loves Gwen. And so it's the first time for me that you have that deep pain, that deep hurt shown in the, you know, in the show, that is going to, in turn, I feel, I don't know. I know a little bit because I read the scripts, but you never know what's shown. You know, how you shoot things from what is written is different sometimes. And I think that this will also reveal more of Gwen's strength. I love the heart, because so far you've seen the anger, you've seen the vengeance, you've seen the killing, you've seen the, you know, the sexiness, you've seen all those things, but that heart that makes even us go, what the fuck? That we haven't had that, and this was it for me, even more so than when they killed the, you know, the wolf, the Smith.
Yeah, for sure, because you go.
I was gonna say with the wolf, I hate to put it like this, the wolf I saw coming, because it is sort of the fate on every hero's journey, adventure, story ever. The mentor gets boned. Like that is welcome to classic motivational storytelling.
Yeah,
you can't always have the mentor holding your hand. The mentor is always doomed. So that didn't.
He was the Obi-Wan. He was always going to disappear.
Exactly.
That's 100% Joseph Campbell's hero's journey right there. Yeah, like the mentor figure never follows the story.
Yeah.
So it didn't jolt me as much as just, you know, we're here. It's like, oh, there's like 3 minutes left in the episode. What the?
It was so sudden. Like he knew, but at the same time, he didn't know that it was going to happen.
When it was going to happen. Yeah.
He was like, whoa, I thought we were going to like do the niceties first, have a little bit of small talk, and, you know, maybe a little villain speech before you stabbed me. But no, Dredd doesn't have time for a villain speech. He doesn't want to explain himself to you.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I like.
He's evil. He's evil.
He doesn't need a monologue. He has like one sentence every time he states himself, or like he replies in that really good way. Like when he said, like, then you'll die with her because I'm doing him. Like he like manages to state himself really assertively, really, you know, like what he wants. But at the same time, you don't really get a glimpse at his deeper motivations. So I'm just, I kind of like Dredd as a villain, but I want to know more about him. I want to know more about him, though. I want to know why he's like this. Because obviously he thinks he's right. And my favorite, one of my favorite moments are like when he stabbed the dude in the foot and killed his family, and supposedly because of the temple thing. And you know, the same thing with killing the dude. I'm like, does he do these things really because he thinks it's the right thing to do, or does he do them because he enjoys it and is just trying to justify them and pretend they're the right thing to do?
He's a tyrant.
Yeah, one of the things I was actually talking about this earlier today. I love a good villain personally. Like that's like my favorite part of a story. The better the villain, the better the story is gonna be. But I was actually talking about like Dredd's psychology earlier today, and mentioning that I feel like his motivations, like internally, it's actually fear, but externally, it's power and control.
He does seem afraid. You're right.
But like one of the things that like I feel like Dredd has is a very like Genghis Khan vibe of where like he doesn't care, he just wants the control, and if he can't get the control, he's going to destroy it, which is also probably the reason why he's going after the Blackbloods.
Yeah.
And went after the Blackbloods.
When I think I think I get what you're saying. At first, I was like, the image of Genghis Khan and Dredd seemed weird to me because so far
he's got a very Eastern Asian vibe.
No, yeah, like his aesthetic. But I meant like Dredd is so non-sexual so far. We have not seen him. So he's like buttoned down, and like Genghis Khan wasn't like he's literally related to everybody. Because he
I wasn't talking about like the sexual aspect. Like I was talking about the way he ruled. This is the
I get that.
This is the dude that would roll Persians in their own tapestries and stuff, and then have their horses run over them. Like he was brutal. Yeah, he was a brutal man. And like he would kill his lieutenants when it came time for their retirement because he would rather not risk when it came time for them to leave, because he would rather not risk his information getting out. So he just if the lieutenant or whoever wanted to go, he'd just kill him, and it was considered an honor. But anyway, I think like personally, like I love Dredd. Just he is he's incredible for a villain.
He's great.
He's so composed, and he has such such the zen about him, which is what makes him so intimidating, because he doesn't have to scream at you, he doesn't have to beat his chest, and all he literally has to do is just look at you, and you're like, yes sir.
Yeah, he's got that drill sergeant look. For sure. Like
it's not even drill sergeant. It's like, it's
like Imperial sergeant.
You know what it is? It's mommy glare.
Oh geez. Yeah.
It is. It's the mom face.
It's the over the glasses like.
That's funny. That's funny.
Okay, but like speaking of Genghis Khan and all that and Dredd, but like another thing, because like you mentioned how like Dredd represents the patriarchy. Well, more so I would say that like the Prime Order, representing the patriarchy, they represent, not only, the stuff that goes along with the patriarchy, like sexism and toxic masculinity, but especially rape culture is like really, 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 really prevalent in this show above all the other aspects of the Prime Order. Like that gets mentioned, and we saw that again in this episode because Garrett talks about how his mom got killed because she tried to fight back against her Prime Order rapist. Dano got his throat burned out and his wife died because he tried to fight back against Prime Order rapists. And then Talon seems to, like, I'm pretty sure Talon, like, between her childhood and getting to the Outpost, she's clearly been sexually assaulted because of the way she woke up in the Smith's place when she was half naked, and she immediately did not react well to that. She was really upset about that and got in a super defensive position and brought that up. And then like the way she treated that rapist on, like, that dude with Lindsey Sterling on the road, she was, she wanted to make an example out of him, very, very, very pointedly. And that was the same time that she was talking about how she would never go to the Capitol because, yeah, it's pretty and trimmed with gold, but it's full of rapists and murderers who she hates, and she would either kill them all or they would kill her. So she's like, I'm not going there. So it's pretty obvious that that's a big part of the Prime Order.
I don't know how I feel about that being part of Talon's backstory, because it's always a part of a woman's backstory. Even though, like, statistics in America are like 1 in 3. This is like a fantasy story. So I would rather, like, that not be her backstory, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, I'm not saying that's like a huge part of her backstory. I'm not saying that like she was like 100%, under that like situation. I'm just saying like she's encountered threats at least throughout her life.
In that time, of course
she's aware of it as
like she might have the ability to get herself out of those situations that she finds herself in more than the average woman because she's a black blood, but that's almost the point. Is why she wanted to make an example of that dude, because she knows that she's the only one who can around these parts, right? Like she has a sword in her hand and she wanted to drive the sword through him because she could and other people can't. So that seems to be a big part of Talon's, like, you know, she that's what I love about her. She forces herself to try and seem closed off, and she has this armor, but at the same time she's still so soft-hearted. That's why they showed that scene of her with the, like, that scene with her with the deer thing, and then her like going into a rage right after it died, and that's like, you don't even understand. Obviously, you watch the first episode and you're like, obviously this is supposed to tell us who she is, but no, you don't even get it. That's who she is. Like, the more you watch the show, the more you're like, she's so gentle but so fierce at the same time. So that's what I like about her, is that I feel like once she gets past her own open wounds a little bit and starts to see past her own armor and her own pain, she's gonna really step into this role of being people's protectors. Like, if we get a season 2, what she's gonna become, I think, is gonna be this, like, kind of, you know, her own kind of matriarch, basically, her own kind of, you know, she's gonna feel a responsibility for not just her and her friends, but the entire outpost and maybe the entire land eventually. Like, her journey is leveling up. It's, you know, from the Bones to Dread, but he's Ambassador Dread. Like, I noticed that. Ambassador. That's not a great title. He's the scariest dude in season 1, but he's the ambassador. He's not the most important person in the capital. He's not the emperor. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess, like, the capital is, like, on another continent maybe, and that's why he's the ambassador. They conquered this continent or something. Yeah, like, that.
You know more than me at this point. I'm just listening.
Yeah, but, like,
I don't know anything past episode 10. I don't even know what happens.
I'm just saying, like, if we get a season 2 and we defeat Dread,
she's theorizing over here.
Yeah, if we defeat Dread,
I know. I would love to go.
She's not done. She's eventually gonna have to go after the capital with her army of demons. That seems like her, you know, what I see as where the show would be going. You know what I mean? So, like,
I wish I knew,
but then
man.
again, it could go a completely different direction. You know what I mean? But, like, that's just what I like. I'm wondering who else is in the Prime Order besides Dread. Like, there are people above him, probably.
Well, there has to be somebody above him.
I'm telling you, Trent, Watchman #1, totally like a Prime Order spy. He's everywhere.
What? Spill the beans,
made a joke.
Man. Spill.
Okay, so we made a joke because we'd been following around because on Cult Fans we were going to do a special for Trent, and we wanted to cover where he's been both out in and outside the Outpost. And the thing is, his character in the Outpost has been everywhere because he's a background actor. But the thing is, he generally plays the role of almost like a sheriff in the town. Mm-hmm. But he was there whenever Talon and Janzo or Talon and Garrett were having a sensitive conversation. He was walking by. He was there when Talon got arrested. He was there when Gwen got revealed to be the princess/queen coming up. Like, no matter what's going on, this dude is just there, like, silently watching what's happening. So I'm like, okay, season 2 Outpost. Plot twist, Watchman #1 secretly Prime Order spy the whole time. Like,
yeah, I believe it. Like, the Stan Lee of the Outpost. That's who he is.
That's funny. It's funny.
Just the guy that's reporting back. I can't wait to see Essa's new episodes.
You know what? Me too. It's like you know, you shoot and then you never know what ends up on screen. You know, with the edits. So it's like, honestly, it's like when I watch, I know what I filmed. And honestly, I think my favorite, you know, it's not my favorite. I did have a lot of fun killing a great skin and eating it. That was fun. Wish I could have jumped, but oh well. I love episode 9 because episode 9, I mean, no offense, 9 and 10. I mean, everything is happening now, so it's just we only have 2 episodes left, right? But I like episode 9 with me because there was fire involved, and I love where we shot, and it's just for Essa. I don't know. If I say more, I'm gonna just give away the whole thing. So, but I love episode 9 a lot because I think it's another one where you get to just see her calm demeanor, and without saying much, you just get to see these little sides of Essa, which you don't, unless she's brought back in season 2. And to see what backstories they're gonna give her, I don't know what the hell. I'm here making up my own worlds about where Essa came from.
So we arrange that rain dance you were talking about. Like that's the thing.
Yes.
When we get the renewal.
once my surgeon tells me that I can start walking or getting my body back to walking, the first thing I'm doing once I am safe enough is I am going back to Salton Sea, and I'm gonna just sit there all day long. Either go there, be there early that morning so I can fire dance from dawn till or get there when the sun goes down. And I'm so in need of a fire dance right now. I can't even tell you. I need to call my gods. I need to talk to them. I
can't dance with fire, but I can be there. I've got the didgeridoo. I can bring that background.
Bring that. I'm gonna have to contact James. I'm like, James, I need my Essa music, please, because I kind of have things to do, right? I love it. He did such a good job. But no, you guys, it's like I love Essa. I think she's I know people ask me a lot what I do to prepare, and I'm not lying when I tell you I don't have to. The moment I put that outfit on, the moment I put my teeth in, the moment I am 100% Essa, it's just who she is. It's just, I think, Kira, we DM'd about it, how a character just becomes its own little demon. Even little things, like even when I was being directed on set on episode 10 to do something in very specific, it's just, she is very animalistic, and I love that. I don't see, she's not some refined lady. She's not someone who was raised to have manners. She's just there to get shit done, and she'll talk to you when it's necessary. It's not about the chit chat. It's about the actions that speak so much louder than words. And she's fun, but I would love to know. That's why I play with her moments before, where she came from, why she's the way she is. And I have all these different stories, and I'm like, I would love to see what would soften her. What would take that edge away from her? Not in a bad way, but
who is the Janzo to her Talon?
Yeah, what would humanize her? What would make Essa stop and take her loyalty away from money for just that 1 second? She's loyal to nobody. Like you can see,
Phantom bicycle, just climb on there and.
Yeah, well, but you know what though? I was very happy when they gave me my teeth, because I'm like, oh, there's not gonna be any romance. I mean, look at her. There's no way. Who's gonna want to kiss me? Come on. But I love that because it's not about that with her. So I don't know. I would love to sit down, or even just talk to the writers, to Kynan and to Jason. And I'm like, what were you thinking when you conjured up Essa? What was in your head? And I think that's why I love her so much, because so much more can be told without words. I think sometimes words ruin a mood. I think that they can take away from emotions. Sometimes emotions are like, that's why I told you my favorite moment is with Kalkazar when he dies, because the look of shock in his face, these actors are so amazing. The look of shock in his face, and then Philip Brody, the one who plays Dredd, just the look of disdain that he gives him, and then
the art of show, don't tell.
Yeah, and with Gwen, the way Gwen loses her shit, all of those things were done without words. Just pure raw emotions. And I love that. That's why Ilian, I'm obsessed with her, because look how much story she's telling without saying a damn word, So it's just, So I because you have all the main characters and they do plenty of talking and everybody's doing that thing, but then you have these other characters that just sprinkle, the rest to just give that extra flavor to the story that I think is marvelous. So I don't know. I don't know what's in store for the show, and I don't know what's in store for Essa. Honestly, you guys, I have no idea. I just sit back and go by the fact that, I've been told that the CW loves her and people are really like her and want to see more of her, but you never know, so I'm just here waiting back and see what else I can do with her, get back on my feet so I can train, and in fighting with swords and stuff. I'm just here with you guys, just waiting.
You know what she reminds me of? Essa reminds me a lot of Helena from Orphan Black.
I've never seen that.
Really?
I've never seen that. But wait, so is Lisa still on, right? I have good news for Lisa. Wait, I finally, okay, you guys, please don't throw the Rotten Tomatoes at me. There's a reason why I never watched this show, and I finally gave in. I started watching it, and I have 300 episodes to watch. I finally started watching Supernatural, and I'm in love.
Yes!
I'm in love. And I told Doug, I said, Doug, shit. Now I have another show that I want to be on. This fucking sucks. What this? And I'm like, I need to make this happen. I'm like, I never, and and this,
Trent
and this
wants
is
on
and I knew.
Let's get y'all to go together.
And I knew it though. I knew it. I knew if I started watching it, I've had a headache for 2 days straight because I've just been watching it, and I can't stop. And I'm like, oh. But I have 10, 15 years?
Yeah.
How many years? 15?
Well, they're on season 14 now.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
we'll see in about 3 months.
Hopefully, by the time I emerge, the season 2 would have been picked up, and Essa and her fate will know, and hopefully, But no, I was like, I didn't watch it because I did audition for it a while ago, and I didn't book it. And I've been wanting to get on the show.
I'm still dying to know.
I want to know. You know what? I'll think it's in my Hotmail that I don't use anymore. I'll see if I can pull up.
But, if it was Anna, Lisa, or Cassie, I will flip tables.
I don't know, babe. I have to look and see if he's still there. But it doesn't matter. I didn't book it for a reason, whatever that reason was. Yeah. But I knew that I would love the show because I love everything magic. Obviously, look how much I freak out over the show that I'm in, right? And now I'm watching it and I'm like, holy fucking shit. For 15 years ago, the effects in every episode is so well done because they didn't go over the top. And even their artifacts and even and I'm waiting for them to trip up. I'm like, oh, make a mistake. Oh, give that sigil to this person and that has nothing to do with this culture. And I'm waiting. I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty fucking accurate. So it's, so they do their homework, obviously. So I am just decent. Like, oh man, it's a good thing I don't date because I'm not going to see nobody for a while.
Warning, after season 5, season, back in 1 to 5, the creator took strenuous amounts of effort. Like the Enochian, he ends up using season 4 to 5. Like if you know the Enochian lettering, and you can actually read what that shit says. Then season 6 and 7 hit. That creator left, and for a while, all of their sigils did admittedly just kind of become like, this looks kind of cool. But then after that, they got back on their feet. So I'm going to give you a warning.
God damn it.
Season 7, you can skip. It's honestly a bunch of dick jokes and...
No, you can't skip the
really,
dick jokes.
It's a really gay trench coat apology.
Really? Okay. No. You guys, I love it. I've been binging for 2 days now, and I'm like, I need to sleep.
What season are you on?
I'm just on 1. Dude, that's a lot of fucking episodes for 1 season. What the hell? I'm like, I'm waiting for it to end. I'm on episode 13, 14. I'm like, what the fuck? There's not enough. Okay. Girls gotta pee. Girls gotta eat. I gotta take my dog out for a walk. It's like, come on.
You're a light binger.
No.
You eat and sleep and stuff.
I need to food prep. I need to wake up in the morning and food prep so that I can just stay in bed. Just watch it and just eat, and then just I don't know, wear adult diaper maybe so I don't have to get up. I don't know. But Oh, where is this conversation going? Anyway, sorry, sidetrack. I'm watching Supernatural, everybody. Back to Calcazar.
I knew
back to Calcazar and the Outpost.
I knew that had to run itself out. I knew I just had to wait. I was like, this needs to happen real quick. I know from experience.
Anyways, back to the Outpost. I just had to
We should
share
probably
that.
wrap up soon anyway, because I feel like everyone's gonna like fall asleep eventually.
So
but
here's
whatever.
my thing. So you guys heard what are my favorite moments. Obviously, you know, I'm biased. Of course, I want my character to come back. Of course, I love Essa. I'm obsessed with her. I wish I was her in real life. But what from this episode, like my favorite moment was Calcazar because I love the heart of it and everything it brought in. And I know there was a lot of funny moments between the spooning and all that stuff and the wall. But what did you guys like? What did you guys think from episode 1 to episode now? We only have 2 episodes left, you know, so it's like, I know 2 episodes left for the season. And we should find out next month or before the episode 10 if we get a second season or not. So what, as the fans, what's going on with you guys? What's going on in those heads of yours and those little hearts and those little heartbreaks and what's going on?
First of all, on the renewal, I'm telling you, if for any of you like snorts a line and decides not to renew this show, I'm ready. I'm like sci-fi because they own it everywhere else. Might as well pitch at sci-fi, pitch at Netflix, pitch at whoever. Trust me. If
I've already drafted up my letters of complaint. I'm not kidding.
Same. So like we're ready to fight. This is not going down.
Like we're so used to what we like being canceled. It's honestly not even funny anymore. It's a literal problem. So like original storylines are just be guillotined at the first season these days. Emerald City, don't even get me started. So mad. We finally have a magic storyline that's like actually, you know, relevant to queer people and what they go through, but it's still magical realism, so it's not talking about the real world. It was like it was magic, but it was, you know, relevant. But no, they couldn't handle it. No, people's brains exploded and they couldn't deal it.
On the meta end of it, man, like we know there's no way to possibly wrap up every open story ending. No. I have a feeling we're going to deal with dread by the end of the season. Personally expecting a war, possibly involving summoning a shit ton of demons or some shit. Actually, hold on. There was a thing I speculated, which you're not going to be able to confirm or deny. But since Essa is supposed to go and grab the Book of Names and bring back one page and burn the book, I have a feeling some shit's going to go wrong. They're going to burn the book, fight Essa, get a hold of the page somehow, run off with like one page of the demon phone book, and then be able to summon like 10-ish demons. No?
Well, remember Essa that was the hard part of this season. And it's like, I don't want to say too much, but you know, I always bring it back to, remember Essa was just hired to do something that Dread knew nobody else could do. So Essa is, just look at what she did with the grayskin. He didn't even know she was there. So I think with Essa, you have to look at how she creeps in, does her job, and leaves.
Yeah, I got that vibe too. Like both because I felt like you mentioned early on that like you hope that Essa meets Talon in season 2. So you know what I mean. Like so like or like at least like we get some conflict. But like, and I also just got the feeling that like they're not even gonna get to the temple. You know what I mean?
They'll get to the temple. They'll get there.
Or like they'll get there and it'll already be gone.
I don't know.
You know, but like whatever. Like, I feel like, you know, everything. But like everything until now was like half predictable, half completely unexpected. Which is what I like about the show.
Suddenly I can't speak. I no comprende English. Like I don't know.
Mira, déjame decirte algo. Yo te puedo decir muchísimas cosas, pero de verdad yo no sé si te puedo decir mucho. Yo sé que esa va a encontrar el libro, lo que va a hacer con el libro después, yo no sais. Je sais aussi que Talon et Gareth et Janzo, ils vont aussi trouver ce qui se passe avec le livre et dans la tour et tout va bien marcher. Et tout le monde va voir.
I think we're in French now. That's all.
Did that go through like different languages? What the fuck? Did she just drop like a 3-language spoiler? What the fuck was that?
We're.
You want to take the time to figure that one out?
Break out the translator.
Get Google Translate on the job.
But here's the thing. I'm obviously not going to tell you exactly what happens. I can just tell you that everybody's going to find the fucking shrine. Everybody went to look for it. When have you known Talon to not do what she said she's going to do? Now, what happens when everybody gets there, you guys are just going to have to wait and see. I think it was they, excuse me, I have my own hair in my mouth. That's a lot of hair. I think the way they wrote everything was very methodical, and the way they leave 10 and every episode, it just leaves it open for more revelations. It's only a 10-season episode, 10-episode season for the first season, so there's only so much they can tell you guys. All I can tell you is, especially, and you'll see what I'm talking about when episode 10 airs, is it's left so wide open. So wide open. A lot of things will be not finalized. You can't say that. Some things will come to pass. More things will be revealed. A huge fucking reveal on 10, which will leave everybody pissed off. But yeah. But also, oh shit, there's going to definitely, what I can tell you, I think, without them killing me, is that there is definitely, episode 10 is going to end with a bang, and another quest is going to be left to take on. So that the story is continuing, and it leaves a lot of people are left alive, including Essa, which is why it's left open. Like, they know that there's bookends. There was no final on things. So that's why I'm saying they can take season 2 wherever the hell they want to. So I think, but you guys are going to be very happy, because once you watch all episodes from 1 through 10, without the commercials, depending on where you're watching it, it's really freaking great. I'm definitely, once they're all out, I'm going to sit and binge from 1 to 10. I'm going to Amazon or Netflix, yeah. And that's the thing, you guys. Again, you guys know how this goes. You guys are fans. You've been watching this for years. You know what happens. You have actors who actually love what the fuck they do. You have writers and creators who love it too. We want this as much as you guys do. Just know that we want it a lot, and as far as, and the other thing, like you said today, now that everything is airing and people's reactions, I would love to know what Jason and Kynan are thinking story-wise, because imagine how they feel. Okay, they can take this so many places. Can you imagine their job? Whew. I don't want to be there.
I imagine their job every day. I want to be them more than anything.
Yeah. No, but you know what I mean. When weaving a story together, it's one thing to have all these ideas, but then putting it on pen and paper and then making it into what it is for you to watch. It's hard. It's not easy.
Making sure the thing that happens in your head aligns with the thing that happens in someone else's head is the bane of existence.
We briefly touch back as a joke here. Super pronounctions, and the fact that they only have plot holes is fucking impressive. Like, y'all.
So many.
No. Oh, speaking of, there was a demand in the chat. Are you a Dean or a Sam girl?
Dean or Sam? I'm confused.
I don't even watch the show anymore, and I'm a cast girl. Like, what kind of question is that?
Well, the thing is, we're back. We're back. Damn. See, it's a problem for me because I'm both.
Oh God, she's a bi bro. Run.
No. You know what it is, you guys? As far as I love everything, what they did is they took a person that split them in half, right? They have Dean, who's a cocky son of a bitch, who's just a brute. Dean is a brute. Let's just call him for what it is. He's lucky he's good looking, because he's a fucking brute and he's an idiot. As smart as he is. And then you have Sam.
They're gonna find you.
I don't care. And then you have Sam, who's the empath and who also has all these psychic abilities, and he's the heart. You can't have one without the other. You need them both. That's what I'm saying. I'm both, because as a human being, I'm both of them. So right now it's hard because Dean makes a lot of sense and he knows what he has to do. It's his job. So he's a good soldier. He's got Garrett. He's a good soldier. But then you have Sam, who's like Genzo, who's like, no, but wait a minute, they're sensitive, and what do we need to check? Are you sure? Should we do this? So
we have to check back in on her come season 4 and see if she still holds the same.
I don't know. You guys, I'm on season 1.
I know, that's why I said we'll check back in.
And then, but the woman in me is Aldine. I'm like, I just want to rip your clothes off. Yes. Yes.
So anyway, sorry. I just the chat was asking. That was like a must need to know.
Okay. This does feel like a good segue into the last subject I really just wanted to touch on in this thing. Okay, so what I was most excited for this episode did not disappoint me. I was most excited because the promo showed that all 4 of them would be in the same place talking to each other. Finally! You know what I mean? That's what I'm waiting for.
That was the first time.
It so bad. Yes. And nobody knew that like I knew that because I've just been waiting so bad for it because I needed it. And then we finally got it.
He's like, that was the first time all 4 of them were in the same room together at the same time.
Yes. And then like, but the thing about it is at the same time, their individual relationships, the network of their relationships, the closer it coils in, the more beautiful it gets because it doesn't get tangled. It seems like they're playing with the expectation because we expect these kinds of things to be complicated because there's this idea that you're only allowed to have feelings for one person at a time or else you're a bad person and those feelings aren't real. Like anyone who thinks that is a child who hasn't had feelings. Like
so what do you think about Gwen pretty much letting Talon know, I know you love my man, keep your hands
that
off.
Is what I'm talking about. That was my favorite moment because she was like, first of all, she started off again doing this thing where she lists all of their similarities. Like she's hitting on Talon. First of all, she's like doing out this like I'm a Pisces line, you know what I mean? Like that's what she's doing first. She's like, oh, we're so alike, and then she's like, and we both love Garrett. And Talon's like, what? No, what do you mean? I can't catch. And so, but Gwen's like, no, it's fine. And like the way that she grabbed her and brought her back in and brought her into an embrace and told her that it was okay and validated not only her feelings, but like, set out this plan that they're going to help each other get through this now. And then if Garrett, and then what I loved is like, if Garrett survives, we'll work it out. And I'm like, I love that she said that. The way she said that.
Excuse me. Wait, speaking of that, when Garrett and Talon almost kissed, I'm sorry, I'm going to go Valley for a minute. Not total Valley. I can't handle full Valley. But let's just go how quick Garrett was to say, Gwen who? When they almost kissed. I thought you belonged to Gwen. Not really. What? I want to reach in that screen and fucking choke him. I'm like, really? It took in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, you forgot that you've been in love with this woman for like 5 fucking years. So, and then
like
Garrett
the thing is like that's the thing.
No, and then okay, so that's one. Keep that in mind. Okay, and then Genzo and Garrett being little girls over Talon. Like my hard on went like this. Are you guys really fighting like girls really?
Yeah, like.
Done.
That's the thing. Like since the beginning, they're kind of like But the thing about Genzo and Garrett is like they're half sword fighting over like, and I do mean sword fighting. They're half sword fighting over Talon, but not really, because it's more about their own views of themselves as men. Because Genzo, has this view, and he verbalizes his a lot, that he's worthless, he's not as attractive, he's not as confident, he's not as physically capable, he's more of the bookworm. And so he has all these insecurities about the way that society sees him and treats him, especially, with his mommy issues and whatever. Like, so he has those issues, and those insecurities get in the way of his interpersonal relationships with basically everybody except for Talon. It's not that he, it's because Talon is the only one that is actually turned and looked at him and been like, you're worth something to me. Mm-hmm. So he has a lot of easier time being around her, but so he's immediately expecting everybody to not think that about him, especially when him and Talon are next to each other or him and Garrett are next to each other. Basically, anybody he sees as better than him, he either worships or hates, or both.
What was that? What the hell kind of sound did that just make? I don't know.
Who knows?
I have no idea.
I thought even what was this? And I was like, it's a peanut butter banana shake.
No.
I gotta say, like, the Polly thing, I understand. I just don't see the show. Personally, this is my interpretation so far. I could be wrong. I don't see it tilting that way. I do see them trying to go the classic romance with Garrett trying to make it back to Gwyn. Talon may or may not, in my opinion, have an endgame with Janzo, but she may also continue on as the independent woman who don't really need no man. But in the end, whether she needs a romantic man, whether or not she needs a romantic man, in a way, Janzo is kind of more the kind of man she needs, because she doesn't need the big, strong, fucking Hulk smash warrior in her life. I love Garrett. Garrett's my boy, but Talon's her own big smashed Hulk smash warrior. She doesn't need that. She doesn't need dimples. She kind of needs eyebrows and obsessing over maps and charts and potions. She doesn't know how to do that shit. If there's one person in her life that is like the perfect opposite, to me it's Janzo.
Yeah, and who knows what they're gonna meet at the Capitol too. You guys need to remember that they mentioned the Capitol. They don't say anything on this show without a reason. You have to remember that.
Yeah, they never leave Chekhov. They never ever leave Chekhov's gun on the wall. That's what I like with the show.
So obviously we know that something's going to happen with the Capitol because it's been mentioned a few times. So there's that too.
I've been trying to look at the map to see like where the Capitol is, but mostly I've just been focusing on like the mountain range because it's really interesting to me, these mines and like this wall. Now that they're talking about it too, I'm really interested. I'm like, when was this all built? Why do
these gold nuggets? All these gold nuggets. I love it how your brains. I can see like your brain spinning. You guys are like, I'm waiting for the smoke to come out of your ears because you guys are trying to dissect it and do all these things. And I'm sitting back and I'm laughing because I'm sure if you were to sit down with Kynan and Jason, they either have it all figured out and it's nothing of what you think, or they're like, oh, we didn't even think about that. It just fit at the moment. You know?
Please give me the chance to sit down with them. I will. I know how to screenwrite. Let me get there. Let me write one episode. I will show you. I know how to do this shit. Let me train you.
Such a mood, man. We could do it. We could like rock their world for real. We really could.
You guys are so awesome.
But like, so could Sonalii. Sonalii herself is a screenwriter, and
Sonalii's a writer. So yeah,
we like before we can ask.
I'm an actress.
She must. We would want her to go first.
What we do. So season 2, if God forbid for any reason it gets like rejected, and God forbid like CW and Sci-Fi and Netflix are all on crack, what we do is we fan fund it, and we make her one of the writers, and we climb on. We invite Kynan and Jason over.
people already like make fun of the show and say it is some sort of fan funded LARPing tour, and I'm like, you know what, we could do that, and you wouldn't even be able to say shit to us, would you?
Dude, you know, I know fan funded.
Okay, but like, I've been really loving the lighting in the show. The more and more it goes, like the first few episodes were a little spotty. Like 1 and 2 were a little questionable, but I think it was 3, Mistress and the Worm, when the lighting
gets better. Yeah, everything.
The lighting really started.
Everything got better as it went on. Everything about the show.
And I
heard you try to say something, but my lag accidentally ran over you. So.
Oh, yeah. Earlier, I got caught up in listening to Sonalii, but going back to the
I love it. You're so quiet and you hide, and I was just there smiling. I'm like, hi.
Well, I think part of it is it's past my bedtime. I'm usually asleep at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's like almost 1 now. So.
Well, that's my fault because I was like 20-something minutes late because I couldn't get my freaking computer and phone working. It's so stupid.
That's technology for you.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, it's all good. I work tech support all day. I know. I understand how it goes. But jumping back to the relationships part of the thing, for the show. Thanks. I told you it's too late. I really like how open Gwen is to people, like, emotionally. Like, there are some things, obviously, that she, like, kept about her past hidden, but in terms of, like, her relationships with others, she's very open about it. And she's very open and honest about other people's relationships with the people that she has relationships with. So it really shocked me when, like, she went up to them when they were sparring, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you guys weren't sparring, you guys are flirting. I'm all right with that." Like, it really surprised me that wasn't like a jealous thing that happens on literally
like, it had
show.
a little bit of jealousy, but not really. That's what's really startling about the show, and Gwen especially, because Janzo and Garrett have that, you know, they have their little jealousy thing going, but it's almost, as I said, it's almost not even really about Talon. It's like not, that's why she, like, laughs in the background. She just kind of folds her arms and looks at them like, you guys are so weird once you get in a room together. But, like, Gwen doesn't have as much. She has, like, that kind of, like, oh, I know you won't be going for my man, but the same, it's like she knows something you don't. But then the more it goes on, it's like she knows that even if Talon and Garrett were a thing, it wouldn't threaten her at all. Like, she just has this confidence in her place that is almost, that seems a little bit like her emotional confidence in who she is strong, but her confidence in being a leader is not. And that's where her juxtaposition is, because we're used to seeing her confidence, like we saw in the bar and with her relationships. But then we see her, you know, facing crown decisions, and she's a lot more shaky, and she starts crying, and she, you know, she's having a hard time, but she's still rising to the occasion regardless. It's definitely new territory for her. She didn't ask to be.
Yeah. And I definitely, and going on with more relations, I love how Janzo is becoming more and more frustrated with everybody around him. He's
like,
so fed up with people. Like, they're either underestimating him, or they're, like, not understanding the limits of the things that he can do, and it's just like it's getting
middle
to the point
ground
where he's like, stop, just all of you, just shut up.
he's getting fed up.
Yeah.
I think he's getting overstimulated by all these people too. He's not used to it, like, because he's used to being in his basement alone, just being yelled at by his mom, and now suddenly he has all these people in his life and all these problems to solve, and everyone's like, Janzo, solve our problems. Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you go.
We just know he didn't want to be with his in the bar anymore. He was like, I'm not staying here alone with my mom. I'd rather be with a plagueling than my mom.
Oh my god! When he, like, slammed his hand down on her mirror, oh my god!
I was like, go off. I wanted him to. I wanted him to hit her. I wanted him to like I want him to break the mirror or something. I was just like, she's such a bitch. She's so emotionally abusive, and she's so see-through. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, I don't care about these kids 1 second, and then the other second she's like, oh, you're my favorite son, and it's like, I'm sorry if it's like a nerve for me, maybe because it's like might be my own relationship problems, but I definitely don't. It just rubs me the wrong way so bad. I'm just like, well, someone, like, I like watching the mistress, and I want her, you know, girl power, I guess, you know, I want her to take over, but I also want her to eat a donkey's ass. So I don't know why that was my decided euphemism, but I just really don't like her.
Okay.
That was the most genuine expression I've ever seen from Sonalii, and she's already a master of genuine expressions.
I saw it too. I was like, oh, I caused that.
I'm just like, that's different.
That would not have been the words I chose myself, but...
Oh, I'm just so happy that for once another one instigating the...
Yeah, like I was like, I feel like that's, at least I'm taking one for the team, because we've said a lot.
God, please take more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn how to behave, and I'm like, no matter what I do, I think I need to straighten my hair when I do public speak. No, this is why you don't. Oh, darling, you don't understand. No.
Like that's scandalous.
You don't understand. You have to understand something about me. I'm like Samson with his hair. When I straighten out my hair, I am just so much more polite, and I am just, you know, and I'm just I'm just docile. And it's just much better for everyone. I don't cuss as much. I'm exactly who my mom wants me to be. And
I'm feeling very threatened. Like this is supposed to be non-threatening, but it feels more threatening.
Well, it's because I've got curly hair. If I had my
Are you sure?
hair, it would be so different. What are you talking about? Absolutely not. I wouldn't hurt a fly.
Or girls by any other name, which still smells sweet. I was just
I'm full of shit, but that's besides the point. No, I know. It's horrible. People look at me and they see sweet, and then I'll put my mouth and they run. It's just bad all around. It's just I need to figure out how to play nice with others. I really do. But
we love it.
Though? But I'm behind the phone though. If we were actually no, after 5 minutes I'll be the same in person. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Forget it. One more thing though. Shit. Just escaped my brain. Damn it.
There it is. See, she dropped the accent. She dropped the accent and suddenly it's shit.
The minute. Oh, but it feels so much less threatening though. It feels more familiar. It's like, okay.
Wait a minute. I'd like to know for sure why would my accent be threatening? I thought people liked it when I spoke.
I do like it, but also I feel like
I'm the devil.
She's afraid. There's something wrong. You're an axe murderer.
I'm secretly a James Bond villain.
Absolutely, I'm a maniac. I'm a complete maniac. Are you bonkers? Obviously,
yeah,
I'm a maniac.
You could be a character in the Kingsman movies with that accent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and not like a good character either.
Oh no, I don't want to be good. I want to be bad. So I love Essa. She's all.
I would love bad. You in Into the Badlands. Have you seen that?
I auditioned for that. I auditioned for the pilot.
Oh
yeah. A lot of these shows that I don't watch a lot of them is because I really they make it. They always send me the full script, and I hate that. I stopped reading them because I fall in love with a lot of them, and I'm like, I just want to focus on what I'm auditioning. Yeah. Then I'm like, I'm not watching that shit. And then I wait 15 years later, and here I am binging on Supernatural.
And then you're like, oh, that happened. It got good.
Alrighty then, let's go.
Everyone falls into the hole eventually.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. I'm gonna guess Cassie, but if it wasn't Cassie, I'm gonna guess Anna. And if it was Anna, like we all get to flip tables because that would have changed the entire world of Supernatural.
I'm gonna see if I can find the audition. It's been years. It was still when it was pretty early on, and I was younger. So I'll see if because
Anna was 10 years ago. So
yeah.
Okay, before we go, because we probably should, because it's 10.
Yes, but my phone is like, boom, I only have 20% battery left.
What is your absolute dream role? Like, if anything was going, like, from anything that's been made, you know, or, like, could be made, or something that could be adapted into a movie or a show, like, what would be your dream role to play?
Jesus.
I feel like I expect people to have this answer just because I do.
You know what? It's very hard because if you were to ask me that, I will tell you that I'm doing it right now with Essa because I love fantasy, you know, and it's been a dream of mine forever. But I would love to be in another fantasy where I'm the lead. You know, there's not because it's very Caucasian driven. You know, and it's not sadly, you know, and here you guys have to remember. A lot of these stories were written so long ago, not this one, but the way of viewing things so long ago, and it was white. I grew up watching television where mostly everything was white. I'm fighting with a lot of Caucasian people. I'm fighting with light-skinned Latin people, which is who the television world think that's the only kind of Latin people there is light-skinned. I'm like, there's more
or Italians.
People. Yeah, but you know what I mean? So I'm still fighting against that. It's getting a lot easier, not a lot, but it's getting easier now. But I would love to be a lead on something that I didn't write, you know, but that was good. There's a lot of shit out there. But I would love to just, you know, I would love to have that honor for somebody to trust me that much with their creation on something like the Outpost where I become a lead character. Like my dream would be to be a series regular. If the Outpost gets picked up, I would love to become a series regular character. That's a dream of mine because I want to find a home. I want to be part of something. that's more than just a one-time movie. You know, when a television show, it's a home, and people build relationships and people become families. And for me, that's I want that very much. So whether it's with the Outpost or something else, I would love to carry a show for sure where somebody gives me that trust and knows that I'm going to do their baby justice. That's a dream role for me, you know.
That is so profound. Like, that's definitely more than I could ever hope to hear from that question. Like, that's such a great answer. And like, I think we definitely want Essa to be a regular, but not in like the joking way where like, bring Thor back as Kel's twin. Like, that's cool and all, but like, there is actual precedent for Essa being a series regular because her character is not, she may be hired by the Prime Order, but it's not like she's aligned with them.
Those bitches don't own me.
Yeah, and she's a human who's already shown a proclivity for hunting and eating grayskins. I doubt she's a fan of those guys.
It's what was available at the time. A girl's gotta eat.
Yeah, but I'm sure that it would not be. It would not even. It would literally take the drop of a few coins, honestly, for Essa to be on the side of Talon and Gwen and them. Especially Gwen being the queen, the money that she might have access to, or the power and the influence she might not have access to. I could see like Essa, if like the whole land got sent into a war type situation and everything got really flipped around, if she was forced to align herself with either side per se, it would. I think it would obviously be with Gwen and them because she's not gonna actively.
I don't know if anything is a few coins. That bitch picked up a full gold bar and waved it at him as a down payment. Like, I go get full gold bar. I come back for rest of bank later.
but wait, you guys, think about it though. He laid that out in front of me for me. He's not stupid. I am worth every penny. Let's just be real, you guys. He gave people. Remember when he gave, what's his name, the one that got killed with the hat? I love his name. I don't remember it though. He gave him the bag of coin. You know what I mean? It's like people are giving bags, but when Essa came in, he was laying out all the money. Here you go,
gold bars.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Lisa Roloff. Lisa earlier was saying, "Why behave? That's no fun." So go misbehave.
I sadly think that I have to say that we should probably wrap this up because I have to go because I'm at my friend's house using their computer for this, and I have to go home before they fall asleep. All right, we'll be trapped here.
I've kept you children up past your bedtime.
My bedtime.
Yeah.
And she's about to get the Eye of the Tiger link, Shay. I don't know if you've seen the chat, but Lisa's about to send Sonalii the famous Eye of the Tiger.
Uh-oh. What did I do? Wait, what? I love you, Lisa.
I love this fandom so much. I love
me too. It's my first. But do you guys know though? You know what? I say this every time I do one of these. But you guys, I always want to say thank you so much because you guys have welcomed me with open arms. And this is my first recurring role. Okay, so this is the first time that people get to hang out with me a little more, than people get to love what I do a little bit more besides of what I've already done. So for me, you guys are incredible. You're my first fandom. And it's the best that I could ever ask for.
That's important to me. Like, those are the people that I have realized that I want to invest my time in, are the people who are just getting their shot. You know what I mean? Because it's not so much that I want to be a big fish in a small pool. It's that I want to make that pool bigger. You know what I mean? I want to help make their pool wider.
And it's easy to try to worship at the feet of someone that's already got a bazillion fans, like they are some Greek god. But the thing is, there's so much talent out there that deserves so much attention. And it's like, well, okay, I'm going to just go chase down Jensen Ackles and
it's like,
and put my nose up his butt. Like,
where are you putting your energy as a fan? Like, if you're going to be a really intense fan person, where are you? Because every time you put any energy, like no matter who you are, if you wake up in the morning and you exist, you're putting energy into something. And if you're not focusing on the thing that you're trying to put energy into, you're just kind of like spinning in circles, I think. So
and this kind of fan attention helps too. I hate to put it like this, but again, we will briefly default back to Supernatural. She's starting it. She's not even there yet. When Misha Collins started, he was scripted for 3 episodes originally, and then fans fucking loved his ass. It was like, oh my god, who is this guy? Give us all of this guy who hasn't been in anything. And then they're like, okay, we'll make it 6 Okay, we'll give him 12 episodes. Oh shit, they want more.
Yeah, that's how it happens,
guys. And now he's there 10 years later. So
yeah, now he's one of the main characters.
Yeah.
And he's one of the leads now. So showing up and showing your support for, nobody really technically knows who this person is, but we love them and we love their work. It makes a difference in entire lives.
Yeah, so Sonalii, if you ever feel like a side character can't become a lead character, that's not the case.
Okay. How about this? You're watching Supernatural, get to season 4, and then watch through to season 14 or wherever the hell we're at by the time you catch up, and you will realize
that when a fan wants a character, the character usually sticks around. Like,
yes.
And we definitely want you. Like, we'll make ourselves
We'll make you the next Misha Collins.
Okay, after I piss you guys off on episode 9, I hope you feel the same way. We're done.
Piss me off. That's a good character.
That's a good character. Yeah, like that's the point.
Yay! Okay. You guys are amazing. Okay, go to bed.
Okay. Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, you guys.
So thank you, Sonalii.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You do the same.